They have recalled Brett Baty. So I don't understand. The Mets lose an outfielder. Well, granted, they were using him as a DH, and they've recalled an infielder. Now, my guess is Starling Marte will start at DH against the left-handed starting pitchers, and they'll probably have Brett Baty, who I have not been a fan of, only hitting 204 so far this season. But they're going to have Brett Baty more than likely platoon that designated hitter spot with Starling Marte. Baty will probably get the starts against right-handed pitching. So Winker goes down, Baty comes up. Now, as far as who they could have replaced Winker with on the roster, if you look at the Syracuse Mets, I don't think any of the Mets prospects like a Jet Howard or any of those guys are ready for the show just yet. Maybe around the summertime, maybe the fall, you give them a cup of coffee, but it wouldn't hurt in this instance to see what Baty has, considering everything that Baty has gone through, for lack of a better term, so far this season. But Baty getting another shot due to the Winker injury, I personally, given his struggles, I would rather Marte take a bulk of the DH role instead of platooning with Baty. But I guess Mendy is going to go on a case by case basis, depending on who the opposing pitcher is in the starting lineup game to game. But Winker will definitely be a loss. Jesse Winker is one of those. He's one of those energy guys. He's a good guy to have on your bench, a good guy to have in your clubhouse. He's a high energy guy. He could get the rest of the dugout fired up. And he's also a very passionate player. We've seen instances where, especially if you paid attention to our YouTube channel, he was very fiery alongside Carlos Mendoza when Mets got that bogus triple play called in Washington about a week and some change ago. Jesse Winker, every time he's gotten a big hit, big energy guy, big reactions, very emotional guy. So his presence in that clubhouse will be missed. And we wish him, Danny Young, and AJ Minter all the best in their recoveries. But Winker should be back within a few weeks' time. The timetable is 6 to 8 weeks. So for the next 6 to 8 weeks, Brett Baty has another opportunity to prove himself. And that leads me to my next point. I already said when Jeff McNeil came back, now that we've kept Luis Angel Acuna up and then we sent Baty down when McNeil came up, that the Brett Baty experiment was over and it rightfully should have ended at that time. Now Baty is getting another chance by circumstance. Had it not been for the injury to Winker, Baty would not be in this position. This should be the wake up call for Brett Baty. This should be his absolute last chance. I don't care what happens from here on out. If Baty cannot hit at this level, then he just has to go. I'm sorry. He has to go. Brett Baty, so far this season, when he's been in the bigs, his body language says it all. Not confident, uninspired at bats, poor body language, the whole 9 yards. However, when he was in Syracuse this most recent stint, what did he do? He mashed the hell out of the ball. Again, Brett Baty is a quadruple A player, a player who greatly succeeds and exceeds expectations at the triple A minor league level. But then when you bring him up to the big leagues in Major League Baseball, he vastly underperforms. Too good to be in triple A, not good enough to be in the majors. This has got to be Baty's last chance. I don't care who else gets hurt. I don't care what else happens. If Brett Baty cannot hit in this time period while Jesse Winker is gone and the opportunities that he is given in that time frame, he has to go. And the Mets have a need right now in their bullpen. They should just ship Baty and maybe another prospect and a draft pick and send that on for a veteran reliever, a proven veteran reliever on a bad team. There's quite enough of them to go around right now. So if Baty wants to stay on this team past the trade deadline, I would heavily, heavily recommend he start hitting. Again, Brett Baty, the day before he was sent down, he hit a home run. He thought he saved himself a roster spot. It didn't matter because, again, we've seen enough. Could have been a lucky swing, but Baty's got to prove himself. We cannot see any more uninspired at bats. We cannot we cannot see any more low confidence at bats. Another common theme with Brett Baty, if you go back to MLB Film Room on the MLB website and look at any of his at bats from this season, a lot of the time he falls behind in the count very early. Very rarely is he ever ahead in the count. So that also needs to change. So again, the Brett Baty experiment needs to end. This has to be his absolute last shot. And even when Winker's ready to come back in 6 to 8 weeks, even if Baty is performing, he may still be the odd man out and get sent down, but this is his last shot. I've never seen a player in the Mets organization be given so many chances, chance after chance after chance after chance of underperforming and still doing nothing. And they just keep bringing him back for God knows what reason. Maybe because they have team control over him with the amount of minor league options he has. I don't know. But this has to be the absolute last time that Brett Baty gets a chance. I, I cannot watch any more at bats where there are runners in scoring position, runners on second and third with one out, runners on second and third with nobody out, bases loaded, one out, where Baty comes up and you know it's a guaranteed automatic out. I cannot stomach any more of those situations. I do not want to see it. If this 6 to 8 weeks is a dud, the man should be gone at the deadline in some type of package to go get a veteran bullpen arm that's reliable. That way, that this Mets team can make a deep run into October. But Baty, that's it. I'm ready to cut ties with Brett Baty. I've seen enough, and this has to absolutely be his last chance.